What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Dogecoin. Yes, Dogecoin. It's been a while. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this while we talk about the DOGE. It is the 7th of July. Here we are, about 6 hours left in the day. 16.7 cents is the price, and you guys, we've got some miraculous price action ahead of us. Okay, Dogecoin's one of the most bullish charts this cycle, one of the most bullish charts in existence for crypto. I mean, genuinely, find me a more bullish chart than this. This thing is tenacious and it just doesn't stop. It'll always move up. A lot of people will contest that, and logically, there's a fallacy in the logic. We'll go over that real quick, okay? Before we get into the TA and stuff. You know, the rationality here that Dogecoin will not always go up is that Dogecoin's inflationary, right? It's inflationary. So therefore it has to lose value, right? And that's true. It will lose value. One Dogecoin will lose value versus the next Dogecoins because there's always going to be more. It's an infinite max supply. But that supply is capped. Or the inflation supply, the supply rate is capped, okay? What is the rate of inflation right now? What is the current, what is the rate of inflation for Dogecoin? Let's see. Can we get a percentage for Dogecoin inflation? Yes. Dogecoin has diminished inflation rate. Yes. Fixed yearly issuance of 5 billion coins. So this is what I mean, right? It's fixed. It's inflationary, but at a deflationary or a diminished rate of inflation, right? You have 100 Dogecoins, 5 billion get produced. That's a lot, right? That's a lot. If you have 100 Dogecoins, that's all that exists, and it goes to 5 billion in a year. You have an immense inflation. But then the next year, that 5 billion, there's already 5 billion and 100. Now that's less than 50% inflation. It's not even over 100%, where before it was like billions of percents, right? or millions of percents. Then the next year, you know what I mean? It continues to deflate its rate of inflation because that inflation rate is fixed. The dollar's rate of inflation is not fixed. We shoot for what, 2 to 4%, somewhere in that range. They say they want to be below 2% or whatever, but oftentimes if you see 2%, it's really like 4%. If you see 8%, it's really like 12% or 20%, right? Like during COVID, whenever we had peak inflation at 8.5%, that was a lie, guys. It was like 20-something percent. Absolutely. Like the dollar inflates at a variable rate. It's not a fixed rate, and even if it was a fixed rate of 3% every year, that makes Dogecoin deflationary versus the dollar, right, to some degree, right? Like as far as value goes. The dollar will inflate at a faster rate than Dogecoin ever could. It's built in its code. And the dollar doesn't really have code, so people can do that whenever they want. People say, well, what if they ever make the dollar deflationary? Yeah, what if a horse humps a donkey? Actually, I'm pretty sure that actually exists. That might not have been a good one. What if pigs fly? There we go. That'd be better. But we're probably on to some kind of genetic modification where that'll be true. Anyways, 25 billion. We're getting offhand here, guys. 25 billion. I'm having too much fun. 16.7 cents is the price right now. 6 days, 6 hours left in the week here, okay? I very much do believe that we're going to see some fantastic growth, and I want to show you guys where I think we're going here, okay? So looking at this here from a high to a low. High to a low here. Very first kind of bull cycle for Dogecoin, right? It was a very short-lived bull cycle. You came in at the end there. High, all-time low. Where did you go during the next bull cycle? You went all the way up to the golden ratio. In fact, you went just above there, just above the golden ratio, but still right there, right? We go to the next cycle. Whoop, I didn't mean to delete the indicators there. Let's take that back. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we take the next cycle's high to low, and you can see that yet again we went above the golden ratio. Now this time we went all the way up to the 2272. I don't think we're going to do that this time, but at least both of those cycles, the prior two cycles that we've had, we've gone above the golden ratio. I theorize we will do the same thing here. We will go above the golden ratio. How much? I don't know. Maybe by a cent, maybe by 10 cents, I don't know. Maybe by 30 cents, 50 cents, a dollar, who knows. But the golden ratio here is all the way up at $4. Now, if we see a $4 Dogecoin, it won't be exactly like this because, again, it does inflate, but $25 billion market cap now. Crazy, man. Crazy. $25 billion market cap. Are you kidding me? Going up to $4, just above the golden ratio there at 394. That's a 24x from here. 24x, and we'll go over why that is a very possible outcome just beyond the the market cap here. 25 billion times 24x. Okay, so 25 times, well, I don't want to do the math right now, but 20, I'm going to do it anyways because I'm lazy. 25 times 10 is 250 times 20 is 500 billion, right? We do another, it's basically 600 and something billion dollars, okay? It's like 650, 680, something like that, 640, something like that. I just did the quick math. Around there, right? It's a very high market cap. But you guys, Dogecoin is not your average meme coin. In fact, it is anything but your average meme coin. This thing has longevity. Name one meme coin that has existed for multiple cycles and successfully seen new all-time highs. I'll wait. You can't find one. It doesn't exist. They're not a thing. Maybe the Donald Trump coin will. Who knows? Because Donald Trump's, he'll at least be relevant for the years to come with his presidency. But even then, that thing's probably not going to last forever. Maybe. The Trump family maintains popularity, but celebrity coins don't really do too well. It's the first meme coin. It's the very first meme coin that ever existed. It will always have relevance. And Elon Musk supports it. Elon Musk has bought Dogecoin, right? He has Dogecoin. He has said that publicly a few times, right? I'm sure that he even buys more whenever he's feeling like, screw it, I'm going to buy some more Dogecoin. I bet he's accumulating, right? Just for fun. Probably not to make money, just for fun, right? He does other things to make money. He does other things to create value. He doesn't need to buy Dogecoin, but I bet he does, here or there. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Everybody says, and this is a little known fact, they say that Elon Musk made no money with Doge, with the government Doge thing. And maybe he didn't, I don't know. But they did make money. What happened, to my knowledge, is that everybody working with Doge, Elon included, they got paid out in whatever tax cuts or whatever budget cuts that they were making. So if they cut $1 billion, they got paid $1 billion. Does that make sense? And maybe not exactly quite like that, but there was funds that went to the team that got diversified amidst the team and the program, and it might not have gone directly into their pockets, but I'm sure they made some money. All I'm saying is, wouldn't it be Elon-esque if from the government cuts that he did make money off of, because he didn't just do that for free. Everybody says he didn't make any money off of it. He didn't have a salary. There wasn't a fixed income, but he definitely absolutely made money off that, right? He absolutely. His time, that much time, like no way he did that for free. There's some, and I love Elon. I'm not one of those people who hates Elon, right? I really do. I like Elon Musk, but I very much doubt that he didn't get paid for that, right? That there's some sort of payment that had to have happened. Wouldn't it be Elon-esque if he took his payments from Doge and put it into Doge? I just feel like it's an easy bridge to jump to conclude right there. Anyways, enough conspiracy theories or whatever you want to call that. 16.7 cents is the price now. $600 billion, $700 billion, somewhere around there. That's where I think we're going to go by the end of this cycle, okay? We're at a very good place to find support here, and this chart is just very bullish compared to the average altcoin this cycle, right? The average altcoin doesn't look like this. The average altcoin, if we look at others here, looks like this, which is nice to a certain degree. Actually, it kind of does actually look like the average altcoin, doesn't it? I didn't even look at it like this, but I guess you kind of do. I was more considering this like sideways little bit here. But I guess similar. Actually, yeah, very similar. I take it back. It actually is very, very similar to the average altcoin. Let's see how it's performed in reference to the average altcoin. From the low of the bear market to where it is now, the average altcoin in the top 125, excluding the top 10, which Dogecoin is in the top 10, so it doesn't get included in here, 235% up from its low. What's Dogecoin at from its low? About 238%. So it's on par with the average expectation. Okay, cool. So we are on par with the average altcoin. That's nice to see. From a high to a low, my expectation from this chart, the others chart, which is the altcoin index essentially, not essentially, literally, it is the altcoin index. I would anticipate that we go all the way up to a 2272 extension on this chart, which would bring us to about a 25, 26, 24x, somewhere around there, right? Which is exactly where Dogecoin will be if it sees $4, if not a little bit more than that. So yeah, I really do think that we're going to get there. I think that this next run is going to take us probably up to prices that are above $1. We'll consolidate going into the end of the year maybe, and they continue to rally going into the beginning of next year, and we should see some kind of parabolic run just like this. That's kind of my expectation. And maybe it's not just like this, but when Dogecoin runs, I know that typically we talk about a chart, it's like you go up, you go down, you go up. It's not a straight line, but when Dogecoin moves up, it is a straight line. That's actually exactly what it does. It moves up in a straight line. So there's zero doubt in my mind that right now we're getting set for a large, very dramatic move that will likely take us to new all-time highs, probably by the end of August, right? By the end of July, we should be seeing some life in this thing. Come on, man. We should be seeing some life in this thing back above 25 cents. We're at 16.7 cents now. I would think that going into August, maybe later than that, we're at like $1.50, $1, something like that. But I would think that we're at least above 80 cents or at new all-time highs by the end of August. That'd be my expectation. Somewhere around there, if not likely above there. And then going into the end of the year, that's when we should break that dollar barrier, $1.50 barrier, and see that fantastic end-of-cycle run that all cryptos enjoy sometime in the end of 2025, going into the beginning of 2026, stuff like that. In the short term, we might have a little bit lower to go, and that's okay, but just a little bit. You're very look at the trend. You're very, 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 very bullish. Absolutely, you are. I want to look at this here from a low to a high. What'd you do? You found support at the 382. Perfect, right? Couldn't ask for more respect. Perfect, right at the 382 there. We take the next low to high right here. Low to high right here. Where'd you find support? Golden ratio, a little bit below there, but that's okay. Golden ratio held up very well. Where are you at now? Probably somewhere right in between there, aren't you? Low to high. Golden ratio. You probably find support here. I doubt that you go, I was just thinking that you go lower, but I guess you've probably actually found your low today with that last hourly candle. So that's nice to see. You could go lower. 1 hour RSI would allow for it. If you were to get oversold, that's okay. Get oversold. You got oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, oversold, overbought, sure. But if we are to start turning things around here pretty soon, it might make sense that we don't get oversold and that we bounce here. Let's look at the 15-minute time frame on that note. Ooh, bullish divergence. Some bullish divergence. What are we doing with the volume? Let's go on USDT. I could take it or leave it. I don't care. 4-hour time frame. Let's look at that there. I mean, you're right there, man. If you go lower, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, man. Right here. Right there. You were just like getting parabolic with this thing. Each one's getting... I wouldn't be surprised if you were at an area of support. So maybe you have found your low. If not, this next 4-hour candle, maybe you come down, you get a wick, and then you close back up to where the RSI is still in this area. It doesn't go lower, right? But reality is you could go lower, and you're still fine. You still got this higher low trend that you're looking at here. I would expect this next attempt into the overbought zone, which should happen at this rate, probably going into the end of this week. You'll probably see deeper readings than these in the overbought zone. You should see some spectacular growth, absolutely. I think you will. Yeah. Things will get exciting, you guys. I think things are about to get really exciting. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if buying Dogecoin at 16.7 cents, holding it throughout the rest of the cycle and selling it likely for several dollars, I would think even above $4, if that sounds good to you, why wait? What, you're going to wait for... You're at 16.7 cents. You're going to wait for 16.4, 16.5 cents. Maybe it gets there. 16.6 cents. You know what I mean? I think if you're trying to get into Dogecoin, you're at the, let's say, final hours, final days of this window in price where you're able to buy it below 20 cents. Probably ever again. You probably will never see Dogecoin below 20 cents ever again after it rips above this high here, above 26 cents there. You get above 26 cents, right? This is what I like to call the nipple, right? It's right in the middle here. You got a nice double bottom here. It's beautiful. It's literally, it looks like an Eve, and if we're lucky, we'll get an atom. If it's an Eve and Eve, that's fine. Eve and Eve just takes longer, but V-shaped recoveries, the Adam and Eve patterns, they are bullish as hell, you guys. Very bullish. Bullish as hell, and that is a very... Oh, it's a good-looking pattern right there. That's what you want to see. And you know that you're breaking out when you get above the central point here, the nipple, the focal point right there. Prior support, prior resistance right here. Do we have anything else of significance? Not really. Maybe going back in time further. Come on, let's go. Nope, nothing. You kind of found support here and there, whatever. But relatively speaking, a lot of significance right there. Absolutely. Support here, resistance there. You break above that, it's on. Where's it on to? I don't know, man. Higher than that high, that's for damn sure. Probably to new all-time highs. You're going to be ripping, and again, what pace does Dogecoin move? It might start off kind of slow, but when it gets running, it's fast. It's very fast. So over the next couple of months, over the next 6 to 8 weeks, I'm expecting some big things coming out of Dogecoin from the rest of the market too as a whole. Bitcoin's being volatile, but I wouldn't... Oh my goodness. We're dropping down a little bit, but that's okay. We're probably near the end of that as well. I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here, all right? Take care of yourselves, and go Doge, go. Bye-bye.